Hi, my name is Senga Lindsay. I'm a landscape architect here in North Vancouver, and today we're going to talk a bit about how to prune young blueberry plants and also a little bit about what blueberry plants you can inject into your regular garden. I am a designer, so I do like to seed edibles throughout my garden, whether it's a vegetable garden or a regular woodland garden like we are here. And I have two types. This is a regular bush variety, and then just off to my right is a miniature version. Now I find that the miniature versions probably are a little bit less work. They max out at about this height, 18 inches high, so the pruning on this is less arduous because by nature it's a bit of a ground covery kind of scenario. Whereas your more bush varieties require a little more care and a little more judicious pruning. This plant here is about, it's going into its third year now, and it is starting to get some flower buds. Blueberries tend to, or they do, fruit or the flower buds are produced on second, third, fourth year wood, not the New Year's wood. So how you identify the flower buds, and here's one right here, is they tend to be squatter, knobbier kind of buds as opposed to the more spear-like buds, which are actually the leaves. Now next year you will have on sort of your second year growth, this is the spear-like leaves on this is last year's growth. No flower buds on this, but eventually the following year you'll get flower buds forming on there. So when you're looking at your young blueberry plant, you want to prune for structure because you're trying to prune for longevity because these plants can live for many, many years. First thing you do when you look at your blueberry plant is you want to make sure that you have gotten rid of any diseased dead wood or wood that's crossing one another, because you want to have sort of an open canopy in the middle to allow air penetration, light penetration to reduce your diseases and your pests. Then you also want to make sure that you have some good strong canes, maybe 3 or 4, that hopefully will have some fruit buds on them this year. And then you want to look at the following years, like say these shoots that are coming up, which will be your next fruiting canes. So you sort of take all that into consideration and you start doing some pruning. Now, for example, on this particular plant, I have some suckers that are at the base that are really no good. They're twiggy. And you always want to cut your canes down to the base as well. You don't want to sit there and snip upwards because all you do is create new sprouts and then vegetative growth, which is not what you want. You always want to cut your canes at the base. So I'm going to look, here's one right here. It's crossing quite gnarly, crisscrossing inside the crown of the plant. And I am going to try to cut it as flush as I can. You always want to try to use the flat side of your secateurs when you're cutting. Plus you always want to make sure that your secateurs are sterilized. Throw some hydrogen peroxide on it so that you're not spreading diseases between plants and plants. So this one here, it's getting a little shaded out by the tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right off. This cane right off here. Get rid of it. Remember, first 2 or 3 years, or actually 2 or 3 years, you want to prune for structure. So again, here's a new sucker that's coming up. We're going to leave that for next year. This one here is quite twiggy and useless and small. And let's see, this one here, we want to create more of a vase shape, and this one's in the middle, so we're going to cut this cane that's in the middle out. We'll let this one go, and this one go here. And this one's quite woody too, so we're going to take that out. So again, we're only using 3 to 4 canes here. We've got 1, 2, 3. There's a New Year's growth, so we'll have New Year's growth, New Year's growth, New Year's growth. This one here is old, and it has some fruit buds on it, so you'll get a little bit of berries. But the thing is, with new plants, you want to make sure you're pruning for structure, not for fruit at this point. You want the plant to develop a strong vase-like shaped structure, because these plants will grow for 10, 15 more years. You'll get lots of crops on it. So you want to make sure that you start out with healthy, strongly structured plants. Like I said, for the dwarf varieties, the imperative here is, because they are twiggy by nature, you just want to look at, for example, the dead wood. This is a dead winter-killed tip. And then if you see any sort of major disease problems or crossing problems, you just want to nip them out a bit. And as you can see, there's the fruit, the flowers where the fruit's going to come, and these fruits are already, or these flowers are already starting to come out. We're a little late in the season to be pruning blueberries. Typically you want to do it in December before the fruit buds form, but we all live busy lives, so sometimes we just have to get to it when we get to it. But regardless, always try to do it before anything comes out in full flush of bloom or leaf, and you should be fairly okay. My name's Senga Lindsay. I'm a landscape architect. If you want any more information on edibles, pruning, we do espaliers, I do beekeeping, mason bees, anything that's sustainable in the garden, please visit my website at www.sengadesigns.com. Thanks for watching.